tragedy and trauma while we're in Uganda, rest assured. I met an incredible young guy called Justin. He's 17 years of age, and he burst through the centre of this rehabilitation centre where we were working with former child soldiers, and he was one himself. He just returned from years spent at war, carrying a gun, forced to fight, forced to shoot, forced to kill. And he comes into this centre with nothing but a huge smile on his face. He's so happy to be returned home. He's so happy to be free. He walks up to me, he shakes my hand, introduces himself, and he says, "Hey, can you take me to the library?" I went, "Okay." It's a bit of a strange request, but sure, let's go down to the local library. If I just got back from war, it's probably the last thing I'd want to do is go and get some books. But sure, if that's what you're into. I thought maybe he wants to get a nice novel, but no, he gets down there and he picks up all these school textbooks. Gets a maths book, gets a physics book, chemistry, biology, psychology, everything a kid his age would be learning at school. Brings it back to the centre, and he goes to his dormitory, which was a small mud brick hut with a couple of bunks in it, and he starts to study. He studies by candlelight, he studies if it's raining, he studies if it's a beautiful day outside, the other kids are playing. He wants to learn. A few weeks go by, I get curious, I say, "Justin, what's the rush? What are you doing this for?" And he goes, "Levi, don't you get it? Don't you get that my friends, the same age as me, they're about to finish year 12. They're about to go off to college, off to university, they're going to get jobs. I'm so far behind and I'm so desperate to catch up." My heart was so broken meeting this young man who was so determined to repair his future, move on from his past. And this beautiful moment happened a few months later, 2 days before my wife and I left Uganda to come back home. Justin comes up and he asks me another question. He says, "Levi, would you accompany me with your wife as World Vision takes me back to be reunited with my family for the first time in 9 years?" We get in the back of this four-wheel drive and we drive a couple of hours the next morning into this long, dusty desert, very African scene. You've got long, tall grass and acacia trees bent over backwards, on the horizon. And we pull off and there's this tiny little clearing, little tree in the middle, and under the shade of the tree, sitting on these beautiful grass-woven mats, are 40 members of Justin's family. And they're surrounding him, celebrating, singing praises to God, dancing, crying, screaming, so excited to have him home. He looks around all his relatives and he says, "Where's Mum? Where's Dad?" Finds out that they've both passed away, but his 92-year-old grandma is still alive. And we look up and we point our video camera up. We manage to capture this 92-year-old woman, not walking but running towards her grandson. And I'll tell you, other than my wedding day and the day my son was born, this was one of the most emotional moments of my life. This is Reunion Song. Came around the final corner and your smile began to grow. In the air, the smell of mangoes, goats and chickens on the road. Oh, the sun was bright and blinding the day you came back home. You said, "My reunion's come, my reunion's come after all these years." Oh, oh, oh. Underneath the shade of branches, one by one he was embraced. The dust rose with their dancing as they sang their songs of praise. All his family gathered around him, they bowed their heads to pray. Said, "Our reunion's come, our reunion's come after all these years." Oh, oh, oh. Cicadas, they were calling in the tall green grass so deep. His grandmother ran towards him, she danced triumphantly. She clutched in my shoulders. They both began to weep. She said, our reunion's come. Our reunion's come after all these years. Oh, oh, oh. His grandmother tells him that now he's returned. All of her worries have ceased. He says, now that you're here in my arms once again, now I can finally